Here's the big idea. You can be ahead of the 99% in how you pursue your dreams, to the point that you actually accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, that you actually see your dreams come to life. Dreaming is a little bit like magic. It seems impossible, but the magician realizes accomplishing the possible becomes possible because he has learned the techniques, and this makes the dance of magic. But without the system, you are doomed to have your dreams disappear. And we don't want your dreams to disappear. So I am here today to give you the fire, the sophistication on how to actually accomplish your dreams, how to be ahead of the 99%, to be the person that has a dream and pursues it and sees it come to life. And I can speak about this with great authority because I have pursued my dreams my entire life. I became a master magician and performed around the world on the most beautiful stages. I've created films. I've spoken to large audiences. This is my life's work. In fact, I even did a TEDx talk about the idea of dreaming, on what it takes to pursue your dreams and accomplish it. And I'm going to share you a deeper knowledge than what I shared on that TEDx stage. But do go watch that TEDx talk because it gives you a great foundation for what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, I'm going in depth here today to give you the real knowledge on how to actually make your dreams come true. And by the end, you will have a system that will allow you to pursue your dreams. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the 99%, then we're going to talk about the idea of system. So with the idea of 99%, getting ahead of the 99%, listen, this is a very easy thing to do, especially in the area of dreaming. Literally have a dream. Like, to literally have a real concrete dream for your life, and you're ahead of 99% of people in the world. Because Gallup said that less than 2% of people write down their goals and dreams. Less than 2%. And that's in the working environment. That's in the business environment that they were talking about that. So when you think about all the people on earth, most people do not have a dream that they have treated with enough respect, that they've just written the darn thing down. So if you just have a dream and write it down, you're going to be ahead of 99% right now. And this is the thing about being ahead of 99%. It's easy to be ahead of 99% of people on the planet. For example, if you just wanted to be a magician, just becoming a magician would put you ahead of 99% of people on the planet, because there's only like 100,000 magicians on the earth, like real magicians. So that puts you in the top 1% easy. Now, if you want to be in the top 1% of magicians, that's a bigger task, right? You now need to be in the top 1,000 of all magicians. Well, that becomes more difficult. And if you want to be in the top 1% of the best magicians on earth, that's even a lot more difficult, right? Like, the number gets more and more small, the more specific you get about the pool that you're comparing yourself to. Now, why I bring this up is because getting ahead of the 99% is easy when you start on the broadest possible idea, like get ahead of people by just having a dream. Okay, that's easy to do. But if you actually want to become one of the elite magicians, for example, or the elite persons in your field, then you need a system. The meme that everybody has been using for this idea of getting ahead of the 99% is this bell curve with all the people in the middle and you on the far side of the bell curve that demonstrates that you're ahead of the curve, right? Well, here's how you actually get ahead of the curve. It's the same way as you get ahead of a wave. Imagine 100 people all in the ocean, all right? And they're all trying to swim with the wave. The wave comes along, and depending on each individual's different athleticism, their physical composition or what have you, depending on that'll determine on whether they're able to progress with that wave rolling in, or not. Some people are going to go a little further, some people are going to be left behind, and most people are going to be kind of stuck in the middle. That's the whole idea of this meme that everybody is using of this wave. Now, if you're a really, really strong swimmer, you may be able to swim and paddle really, really hard with that wave and ride it for a little ways and be ahead of most of everyone else. But you want to know who gets ahead of everybody? It's not the most athletic. It's not the person with the best swimming skills. No, it's the person with a surfboard. The surfboard is a system. All right. It's a platform on which you can stand and allows you to be propelled forward by the wave in any endeavor. Systems always outperform talent and ability because it lowers the bar to entry. It takes a lot of those variables like ability out of the equation. Now, of course, if everybody has the system, then you've got another equation you need to work out. But just with this analogy of everybody in the water, if you have a surfboard, you're going to outperform everybody else. And that's what we're talking about here today. We're going to give you a system. We're going to give you a surfboard to ride life's wave and to actually see your dreams come true. I'm going to explain it to you quickly, but I'm going to put chapter markers in the thing so that you can go back and reference it. And if you appreciate what I am sharing with you here today, let me know and I'll go way more in depth. There's way more I could share with you, but let's get going. In my TEDx talk, I talked about the system with 3 simple concepts. In order to accomplish your dreams, you need a dream, you need direction, and you need discipline. Again, go and watch that talk to get that idea, because what I'm going to do is take it one step further. The system of accomplishing your dreams is you need to visualize, you need to analyze, and then you need to realize. Most people get stuck with the first one, which is visualize. Most people don't even do this thing. They don't actually visualize the dream they have for their life. They don't actually visualize what they're trying to do. They just kind of have a vague idea. A vague idea, you know what that's called? That's called a wish. Right? That's like oh man, I really wish I had money. I really wish I lived there. I really wish no. We want your dreams to come true, which means you need to create a clear picture in your mind of what your dream is. You need to have fun doing this. You need to play at the process of asking the question, what if? All right? What if I did this? Or what if I did that? Or what if we were involved in this other thing? Imagine with a great amount of enthusiasm and play what it is you want to see happen, and then write it down. This is like a brainstorm, a mind dump exercise where you just allow your imagination to flow on what could be. What could you imagine to come true? Now, a common mistake people make here is they start to analyze their dream too early, right? It's like they come up with an idea and then they're like, no, I can't do that because of X, Y, and Z, right? You can't do that, because what you're going to do is you're going to kill the seed of your dream before it gets a chance to sprout. Now, we're not saying that your dream is going to end up in the final form that you initially visualized, but you have to start there, and you have to do it with joy. You have to do it with happiness. You have to play at it. Enjoy the process. If you do not enjoy the process of even coming up with the idea, why the heck do you think you're going to accomplish it? You won't. You need to enjoy the process, so do that. In fact, why don't you even try right now? Just hit pause, grab a piece of paper, write the words, what if, and then spend 10 minutes thinking about the what ifs you would like to see come to fruition in your life. Do that right now, and then come back to part 2. All right, welcome back. Now, I've done this my entire life, this idea of active dreaming and playful dreaming. I did it with my new show called Box of Wonders, right? I had this crazy idea that I could create an immersive experience that would take people to a completely different world mentally and emotionally with conversation and memory, and that it would be intimate. It would be for only 12 people around a table. It would be sophisticated and intimate and all of these things. These were the ideas for this dream that I created, Box of Wonders. Now, if I would have started to analyze this immediately as I was coming up with the idea, I would have talked myself out of the idea immediately. Because I would have been like, oh yeah, 12 people are on the table. No, that's a stupid idea. There's no business case for that. You're used to performing for like 500 to 1,000 people in a theater. How on earth are you going to make any money for 12 people around the table, right? I would have talked myself out of it. But I didn't do that. Instead, I let the dream kind of take root in my mind. I imagined it, and then I started to move on to the second phase. And before we move on, another person that did this really well is the great Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was amazing at visualizing ideas and concepts and not overly analyzing how to do it, but just having this grand idea and then over time moving to phase two. Phase two is analyze. Once you have a clear dream, figured out of the grand question, the big dream, the what if question, then you start to ask the questions and you start to analyze the process. Now, analyzing is asking questions like, why? Why do I want to do this? Now, here's a great point about asking why. In asking why, it may cause you to adjust your dream. For example, you may say, my dream is to be the biggest CEO in the world, just like Elon Musk. And you get to why, and it's like, why? Well, because I want to travel and have more time with my family, and I want to enjoy life more. Have you seen how much Elon Musk works? Like, the guy works 85 hours a week, right? He's driven to work. Why do you want to be the world's biggest CEO if what you want is lifestyle? Maybe there's a different iteration of that dream you need to think through. Right? And why will help you analyze and adjust that dream to be a good fit for you. So you start the analysis process with why, and then where and when and what. You ask all those questions and you get a really clear picture of how this dream might work out. Again, with Box of Wonders, this is exactly what I did as I thought about, why do I want to do this intimate show? Does it check the boxes? Where do I want to do it? Oh, I want to do it either in people's homes or like with intimate groups in a nice private room in a restaurant or someplace like that, an exclusive experience. And I started to really drill down to the concept and solve the problems, including how am I going to make money at this? And I came up with a new business plan that I don't think anybody's ever thought of before that really helps this dream take flight. And I think this is what Elon Musk did with SpaceX, is he developed steps in order for him to begin the process of creating the space agency and the idea of rockets returning to Earth to be reused. Like, there was a process that he had to analyze how and when they're going to do it and what it's going to be like. And of course, he tasked his engineers to do a lot of these things. So like even a guy like Elon Musk uses this analysis to his benefit. And now that you've analyzed it, you can move to the third phase, which is realize. In my TED Talk, I called this phase discipline, because this is where you put in the work to actually make the dream come true. This is where you actually start to set goals, right? And goals are targets that you create on the way to realizing your dream. Goals are not the dream itself. Okay, let me explain the difference here, because nobody explains this difference, and it's so freaking important. I think so many people fail because they don't understand this. A dream is like the house, right? You have this dream of building this, I'm using a metaphor here, this dream of building this big mansion. That's the big dream. I want to have this big mansion built on the hill. Okay. Now, what's your goal in order to build this thing? Your goal isn't to build the house. That's your dream. It's too big, man. If you go with, okay, my goal is to build the house, you're going to fail. Your goal needs to be a SMART goal. So a SMART goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, which means that you're going to actually accomplish this thing. It's not something someday, wish upon. No. This is something you're going to do. So if you're building a house, for example, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put in the footers to start building your foundation. You're not even in the remote part of thinking of how you're going to decorate this house. As far as a goal is concerned, you could dream about it, but as far as a goal is concerned, your first goal is to put in the footers. And then you begin to pour the foundation. And then you begin to build the frame up with the studs. Like, all of these individual specific tasks are the goals that you're going to create on the way to realizing your dream. Now, once you have a goal set, you work with discipline to achieve that goal. And once you have achieved that goal, you then go back through the process again. You go back to visualize. You go back to the dream and you ask the question, is this vision I have, this dream, is it still relevant? Is it still what I want? Is it correct? Yes. Yes, we are doing this in service of that dream, and I still love that dream. Okay, great. Then you go back to analyze and you ask again, why, what, when, how. You ask all these questions and you ask if they're satisfied. If they are, then you go back to realize again and go, okay, we accomplished that goal. What's the next goal, right? You go through the process and you do the next goal and then the next goal and the next goal, and you build and build and build. And it's like a spiral staircase. You keep going around this process until eventually you build the house and you accomplish your dreams. What happens when you fail a goal? If you fail a goal, you do the same thing. You go back through the process again. You go back to the vision and you go, is the vision still good? Yes. Okay. Well, let's analyze. Why did we fail? Why did that goal fail? What do we need to adjust? And then you adjust your goal and you adjust the task and you come at it different because you still believe in the vision. Now, something else may happen on the process, either success or failure. You may go back to your original vision and go, is this still the vision? And you may go, no, I've realized something here. I want something different than I originally wanted. My dream has changed. I no longer want a 3-story house. I actually want a ranch house with a nice, great big garage and a pool, and you adjust the dream in real time, and there is nothing wrong with that. We've been told so many times that, never give up on your dream, never give up on your dream. And it feels like we're getting locked into a specific vision that we had one day. Well, here's the truth. We change. Circumstances change. Resources change. So many things change. Our dreams can change too. That doesn't mean you're giving up. It's not never give up on your dream. It's never give up on dreaming. It's never give up on this process I'm laying out from you. This process is literally the surfboard that'll allow you to ride the wave. It is literally what has allowed me to accomplish the dreams of my life. And sometimes I get back to reassessing the dream and go, you know what? I need to adjust it. It's not the right dream. I didn't see it the way I see it now, and I'm going to adjust it. And yes, this takes work. This takes a lot of work and discipline. Think about somebody like Serena Williams, right, who has accomplished her dreams on the tennis court, became an absolute star. Is it just because she's talented? Well, she is talented. No, if you know anything about their story and their dad and their whole journey, it's very clear that she worked so freaking hard to accomplish her dreams. She put in the work and the time. And that's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to put in the time? Are you willing to put in the work? Because if the answer is not astoundingly yes, maybe you got the wrong dream. Maybe you need to go back and imagine fresh. But if you're like, no, that dream is the dream, then do yourself a favor. Go for it. Put in the work. See where you're going to be in a year or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. Yeah, it may not happen in a day, but it can happen. Trust me. Not only have I seen it happen in my life, but I've seen it happen in other people's lives over and over and over again because they're willing to put in the work and because they're riding the wave on a system. Again, if this has served you, if you've appreciated this idea, would you do me a favor? Hit a like on the like button and share it. Share this video with somebody that you think would really, really appreciate what we've been talking about here today. If you want me to go even more in depth, let me know that as well. And until we see you next time, try it. Just try and dream. That's your biggest task today, is to spend some time imagining and playing at the process. Just doing that will put you ahead of 99%. I guarantee it. Till next time, live bright, love big.